Hello everybody, welcome to Pothology. I hope you're having a good Monday, a good start to your week. Here in Indy, it's very gloomy, it's very rainy, and it's sleeted today. There's ice on the roads and they didn't salt, obviously. I mean, I don't think they were really expecting it, but it got super cold today. Very wild compared to last week. So it's very cold, very gloomy. Maybe I'll show you a clip of it at some point. But, you know, it's pretty nice at the same time. I kind of like gloomy weather. I enjoy all seasons. Obviously, I don't want it to be gloomy all the time. But it was very nice today. I just kind of, I was able to listen to the rain and work on some stuff. Do you like listening to the rain? I like listening to the rain sometimes. You know, if I listen to it while I'm working on stuff on a soundtrack or something, I will just get too tired and won't be able to, you know, focus on my work. But every now and then is pretty good. One thing I do like listening to when I need to focus, or it's just one of my options when I need to focus besides jazz and maybe some lo-fi music or just music without words, this is kind of weird. I like listening to cicadas. Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but there's cicada soundtracks and is very interesting. And if you like cicadas in summertime, I highly recommend them. So it's just cicadas, you know, it's just the buzzing of a cicada. And I really like cicadas. I have some great memories of when I was a kid, living in Virginia, being around woods and just nature, though I didn't really like nature that much. I really loved when the cicadas would start in the summer or maybe even the fall whenever they come out. And I loved Dusk, and I would also love fireflies or lightning bugs. And those three combinations just makes a perfect, memorable night. It's so awesome. I love when all of those come together. So awesome. I love it so much. But yeah, I'll listen to cicadas sometimes. You know, here's something I always found super weird. At least I have since, I don't know, I've heard about it. For the past probably 5 years, if not longer, I always see an article that comes out in the summer that says, cicadas are coming out of the ground this year. They've been sleeping for 18 years. This is the big year. And I feel like I've seen that every single year for I don't know how long. And I think to myself, I feel like cicadas come out every summer. I don't know if that's how it is, but in my head, they always come out. So yeah, I can't remember a summer or fall where I haven't heard cicadas. So I don't know what that article is saying, or maybe I didn't read it all the way, or they're in a special section of the world or state or something. But I love, again, let me just reiterate, I love dusk, fireflies, and cicadas. You know, one of my favorite things I used to do as a kid was spider hunt in the summertime. And that goes into like dusk and fireflies being out. So we would catch fireflies. Did you ever catch fireflies or lightning bugs as a kid and put them in a little jar? I would do that sometimes. Not sometimes. I would do it often, and always on the 4th of July. I would catch fireflies, put them in a jar, then at the end of the night, we would just let them go. And it was so fun. It was so fun. But another thing that's kind of creepy, and I know most people will hate this, it was spider hunting. So you put a flashlight to your eyes and you look in the grass and you just find spiders. You don't pick them up. At least I don't think, I never did. But I remember doing that with my sister, my mom, and my dad sometimes. And, you know, it's always interesting. My sister would be like, oh my goodness, look at this giant spider. And it would be a huge, huge spider. So that was always fun. And I always wanted to go. I always wanted to do it when we could. And a lot of that was probably around just the holidays, 4th of July, you know. Man, I can't wait for summer. I can't wait to be able to do that this summer when I go to Virginia. That will be so fun. Because it's just a completely different context. And, currently I'm in a bigger city, lots of no noise, no nature. And I think I already said this, but I never loved nature. But when you're away and you're not near it, you really do respect it and long for it, especially if you grew up around it so much. I mean, there's no green here. I'm looking at green right now, but that is because that warehouse is painted green. So there's trees here and there, but they're just planted there by, the city or something. So I look forward to doing that. But man, I remember for my birthdays as well, we would always, well, not always, but for my birthday, I would have a sleepover and we would stay in a tent, like me and my friends, and we would do that, like spider hunt and whatever else you do. So that was always fun. So, well, right now I'm actually baking some sourdough bread, and I might show you what I did. Very simple, just very quick. I started it at lunchtime, and I just wanted to see if I could quickly make some sourdough bread. So I did not really follow, this intense special instructions. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, and it may not turn out that great, but that's fine. I just try to do it within a 6-hour time frame, just to see just to mess around. So that's what I have in the oven right now. There's no rye in it. It's just regular unbleached flour. So maybe I'll get different results. But I do think there's a lot. I mean, there's like so many processes. You can make it as complicated as you want. So we'll just see what happens and see if it rises or not. So, and Emily's not home yet. I'm gonna get started on dinner, and then I'll come back, show you my bread, and we'll just go from there. So I hope you're all having a good week. If you're still watching this, comment down below. I'm gonna say vitamins. I take these gummy vitamins, and they taste awful. The Meyer brand of these gummy vitamins taste terrible, and I don't even know if they do anything. I just take them every morning. I just got into the habit of taking them every morning. So I probably don't need them, and they're probably going to give me kidney stones or something crazy, but whatever. I take them. That's what I do. So yeah, these taste horrible. But there's other brands. I mean, this is the off brand, so there's other brands that taste just like gummy bears. So, but that was, buy one, get one free. It's not really something, these take 2 seconds to eat, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, everyone, I'll be back in just a second. Bye. Hello, everyone. So I just took my bread out of the oven. Also, Emily and I are about to eat dinner. I made some stir fry. But here's my bread, and this is just regular sourdough. Oop. There it is. It didn't rise like I wanted to, but it rised pretty well. I mean, it had some rise to it, you see? Well, I don't know if you can see, but it did something. It did something. So our goal is to make it much higher. But there's my bread. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it tastes. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep trying. I think I'm gonna have to do a cold ferment sourdough dough. So I'm gonna let it rise. Well, I'm gonna let it rise a little bit and then put it in the fridge overnight and then bake it. And I think that should do it. This dough was just so warm already, and it had risen a little bit. I think it might have needed some more time, but I think it looks good. I'm sure it will taste great. So there it is. Okay, I'm gonna go eat dinner now. I'll see you in just a second. Bye. Hello, everybody. So we just finished dinner. We're over this sourdough bread. It's warm, and beautiful looking, and it's sour. I haven't cut into it, but I ate the top of it. It was really crispy and good. So, and sour. So that's good. At least I know it has a tang to it. So, but yeah, it's the end of our day. It's been a chill whatever day. So last night I learned about the Otzi Iceman. So do any of you know him or know of him? In 1991, it was a ice age man or something. Anyways, he was covered in ice. He was fully intact. Apparently he was over 5,000 years old, and they had items on him. Like, he brought items with him, like a copper axe. Yeah, I know. And he had shoes, and he had fungus that was like used for medicine and stuff. So that's it was like a little documentary about it, and I just thought it was super cool. And
they found him? Yeah,
like he was found in Italy, and hikers found him while they were hiking, and they thought he was maybe just they thought he was just someone who went hiking and he died or something. But so they called the emergency unit to come out and get him, and the emergency unit started drilling into him, and he was fully intact. But they accidentally drilled into part of his body, and yeah. So, but everything else, like, he had his heart, he had his brain, he had everything. Like, everything was perfect. So it's crazy.
I'm sure that archaeologists would be like, no.
I know.
Why would you do that? But if you call just regular EMT paramedics, like, what are they supposed to do? They're not trained in archaeology.
Yeah, they don't know. They're just over here trying to get the person out. But it was crazy. So I learned about that. And I guess what I found interesting the most was just the items that he had. He had a copper axe from 5,000 years ago. So that's crazy, And he had like shoes. He had a backpack. He was carrying 60 pounds of stuff. And apparently he got shot with an arrow and he died. I guess that's how he died. So yeah, and he had arrows with him, and he had a belly full of berries. So isn't that crazy? So I think they think, apparently, like, he possibly accidentally walked into a territory he wasn't supposed to walk into, and they just shot him, and they left him there to die. So, and he just froze over within the day.
He was frozen and preserved.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, and he's still frozen right now. So he's at a museum in Italy, and every day, I think, or every few days, they spray him with water, and they keep him frozen to completely preserve. So I guess he has to have a fresh layer of water to keep him in that same temperature. So
keep him in the frozen cast.
Yeah, and I think they inspect him too much to just keep him frozen solid, because there's a whole museum around him. So I think they take him in and out a lot and do stuff with him. And there's a place in New York that's coming up, and then there's another place in somewhere else in the States. It's a museum just based around this Otzi Iceman. So it might already be a thing. I don't know. The museum might already be open. But that's really cool. So I learned about that. Then I learned about tornadoes, because tomorrow there's a tornado siren going off at 10:30. Did you hear that?
Really?
Yeah, so I guess it's a statewide Indiana thing. Oh. So tomorrow at 10:30, all of the tornado warnings will go off. I mean, that's what I got.
Sirens?
Yeah, that's what I got in an email. So they were just like, yeah, this is what's happening. So,
well, they go off every Friday at noon, I'm pretty sure.
Here in Indy?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe once a month?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard them here. When we lived in Bourbonnais, they went off
the first Tuesday.
The first Tuesday of every month, which was, cool, crazy. I guess I just got used to it. Mm-hmm. I never even noticed it. So, yeah. Well, that's everything I have. So, here's Emily.
Hello. Well, today was my first official day on my new job without our last person with me. She has a different job now too. So I was like, oh man, I'm on my own now. But it was good. It was like a chill day. There's nothing too crazy going on at the moment. Nothing I can't handle right now, at least. So I'm going to knock on some wood because who knows what will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, today the weather was really intense. So I'm up on a really high floor of a building downtown with a bunch of windows, and it was wild.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, the windows were covered in ice.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And like icicles were all forming around the ledge.
Wow.
And it was just very extremely windy, and like the windows would move and the building moves, obviously, because the building has to move.
That's crazy. Man.
Yeah, so we're like, okay, well, it was very dark, but then it got back like bright again. But I like storms. I think they're fun, although it's much scarier being that high up in a storm.
Yeah.
It's a new week. I got to do my statistics homework tonight.
Nice.
I need to keep going.
Yeah.
I do, though, realize that tonight is the finale of The Bachelor, even though I'm not watching it, even though I already know who wins.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not. I just said I know who wins. But we all know that Tayshia and Caitlin Bristow are hosting the next season of The Bachelorette and not Chris Harrison.
Why?
Because he was involved with, excuse me, just a controversial interview where he was like defending racism, kind of. Yeah, it was bad.
That's crazy.
I never actually watched it. It was all hearsay for me. But yeah, so they always have the final episode of The Bachelor is after the final rose. That's what it's called. And Chris Harrison will not be hosting that. Some other guy is going to do it. And then The Bachelorette comes after this season to get back on track from COVID. And Chris Harrison is not hosting that. Tayshia, who was just the last Bachelorette, who is engaged now, is going to be hosting it with another former Bachelorette.
Huh.
I think it's going to be great. I love Tayshia so much. And I was even thinking when all this happened, or even before this happened with Chris, that she would make a great host, because we've all been thinking, like, when's Chris Harrison going to be done with the Bachelor franchise? Like, you know, he's been hosting it forever. I think he might be getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Maybe he said it on purpose. We don't know. I don't think he did.
Probably not.
I think he probably regrets it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he does get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So anyway, maybe I will watch The Bachelorette. I'm very excited. I hope they announce tomorrow who the new Bachelorette is.
So is the Bachelor whatever franchise always on?
No, it just seems like that because of COVID.
Okay.
So how it works is The Bachelor comes on in January. And then after that's over, we wait until I think May. And then The Bachelorette is on.
Okay.
Or maybe that's when it ends. Anyway, right after Bachelor is Bachelorette. And then right after Bachelorette in the summer is Bachelor in Paradise, which is a whole different thing.
Wow.
You have a bunch of girls and boys at this island. Yeah, I've never watched Bachelor in Paradise, but I would watch it.
I'm going to end it.
Okay.
Well, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow at Tuesday Tea Talk. If no one's told you this today, you are loved, and this world's a better place because you are here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.